Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, we're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, JHE Rooga sends a message to Adam22 after his no jumper interview that he recently did. And before we even get into it, y'all, if y'all watched the interview, you can already sense that something like this was bound to be revealed after the episode dropped. I say that because as I watched the interview, for one, Adam barely spoke on Rooga's music, right? Most of the interview was spent discussing Lil Durk, which must be awkward for these guys when they go do these interviews. However, I'm assuming they get paid, so they have to maintain some type of professionalism in that regard. But you could tell as he's asking all the questions about Lil Durk being on a Kanye album and them almost being at the same venue together, you could tell in Rooga's posture that he really wasn't feeling it, but he kept it cordial. I like how he handled himself because it also seems as if Adam was trying to little bro Rooga just because Lil Durk is kind of like the bigger artist, and he asked him, well, Durk almost immediately said he wouldn't be there if you were there, or something to that nature, right? And Rooga replied, well, the feeling is mutual. You know, pretty much saying that I don't care if he don't want to be around me because I don't care to be around him neither. You know, so if he didn't want to be there around me, I didn't want to be there around him neither. Now, aside from Adam continuously bringing up Durk's name, Adam focused on mentioning guys like FYB J-Man and just tried to get a certain reaction out of Rooga that Rooga just wasn't giving him. And like I stated earlier, if you watch the interview, you could kind of sense that it was a little weird. Like the energies didn't match. But I want y'all to come to your own conclusion. Y'all can go watch the interview that No Jumper dropped and check it out and see what you guys think about it. Now, in the meantime, let's discuss what Rooga had to say after the interview, as he would take to his Instagram and expose Adam for his interviewing style and not agreeing with the way everything turned out. Now, Rooga will post a clip of the interview to his Instagram account, and in the caption, he said, quote, "So I told Adam to send me the interview before he dropped it, and he still dropped it without me knowing. I actually used to F with Adam22 genuinely, but from the looks here, I told him I didn't want to speak on a goofy beef-ish, but yet he still didn't want to respect it. It's like he hates to see an MF elevate mentally, so he constantly tried to get me to badmouth the next man by asking, are you going to clap back? I mean, how old are you? We grown to F up, but this is the reason why I barely do interviews, because everybody is not genuine. All they care about is what benefits them and some damn views. But I see through that ish, you culture vulture. Now, I would have been wrong if I asked him about the you know what ish he got on his name. Let's talk about that." Now, it's crazy because I didn't even know that Rooga actually told him he didn't want to talk about any of the beef stuff. So that makes it even more interesting, because if the man told you he don't want to talk about it and you just went against his wishes, got him on camera to, I guess, get a reaction and still ask, that's kind of messed up. Now, for the OG members of this platform, right, if you still here rocking with us and remember 2 years ago when I dropped the video about Adam22 being a culture vulture, I stated this exact same message in it. I did a video that about Vlad as well, but he worked his little YouTube magic and got it taken down, however he did that. But Adam22 follows the same DJ Vlad blueprint, right? But they find it cool or hilarious to ask these weird questions that the average person wouldn't ask because they know better. But why is it that these two guys feel so comfortable asking these questions? In fact, why is it that these artists think it's cool to allow these guys to ask these questions and even answer them sometimes? You know, I'm a blogger myself, right? No, I don't show my face, but it's sad that I don't show my face and I still maintain a certain level of respect for these artists that some of these bloggers who show their face don't. It's certain things I believe you just don't play around about, and certain principles I hold myself to that some of these bloggers don't, and they playing with real life situations. It's not a joke, it's not funny, and it's not a game. All right? If you ever heard me say something on this platform, I really actually meant it. It wasn't for views, and if I was wrong and someone could prove it, I take it back like a man. However, these guys such as Adam, they get on camera and toy around with these guys about real life situations, totally ignoring the real original reason they was up there, which is to promote their music. How you have someone come on your platform thinking they talking about music, and out of a whole 20-minute interview, you mention their music about 2 or 3 minutes, and the rest is about street situations, controversy, and drama. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Prime example, Blazing Dog was on No Jumper the other day with Adam. The full interview was about an hour plus long. Throughout that whole hour plus, they probably mentioned her music about once or twice, maybe 3 times. Majority of the interview was talking about her mother, who her mother was, what her mother did in the street, who she hung out with, Tay Savage, 5-year chain, Tay Savage again, and more Tay Savage. You see what I'm saying? I know as an individual, right? If I had to get on camera and hear about my ops or talk about my ops, do you know how awkward that'd be? Not to mention, what I always stress is that these are real life situations where people lost their lives. Not a little fist fight, not a little diss or insult on music or in music videos. These guys lost their mothers, their brothers, their friends, their kids. And here these guys are bringing these guys' ops up and talking about them like it's nothing. You see, I just don't get it. But the thing that also pissed me off is these artists don't hold these interviewers responsible. Because here's what I noticed. When these urban platforms ask policey questions, as True Teller would say, these artists quick to point it out and curve them, saying they're asking for too much information. But when these other bloggers start asking these weird questions, these artists don't put them in their place correctly. That's why they think it's cool to continue doing it. These urban platforms have enough etiquette to not even ask certain questions because we know what's up. But y'all get on these other platforms and don't check them when they ask these questions that could possibly get you indicted, or stir up some type of controversy. But anyway, I feel Rooga conducted himself in a proper manner and didn't give Adam what he was looking for. And if you watch the interview, right, Rooga mentions the sex tape involving Adam's wife that recently just came out. You could tell that Adam kind of got defensive, right? So in return, Adam says, well, your kids in the future will have to hear about you talking about shooting a guy in the head. It's kind of like the same thing. All right. Now, first of all, no, it's definitely not the same thing at all. And secondly, I feel like that was like a low-key low blow. And I feel like he was being funny, in a discriminative, stereotypical kind of way if you read between the lines. Maybe it's just me. But for one, that's not the same thing at all. And secondly, Rooga can make an excuse for that, right? Say it was just for entertainment purposes or say it was for whatever. But you can't excuse your child going to school and having other students saying that they seen your mom on a certain kind of website or seeing their mom's private parts. You can't excuse your kids seeing them tweets about you being okay with it and laughing about it, thinking that it's funny. What type of message does that send to them kids? That behavior is okay, because it ain't. Don't project your beliefs or whatever it is on these kids and force them into thinking that something like that is okay. But one of the reasons I never spoke on that whole situation on him and his wife is because you got to remember, they don't come from what we come from. It's a cultural difference, and certain things they're cool with that we just will never be cool with, and that's just that. There's no other explanation about it. It's not even up for debate. It just is what it is. But don't try to make it seem like it's cool, because it's really weird. All right. But like Rooga stated, man, it's a bunch of culture vultures in this industry. Dame Dash Ben exposed it, and unfortunately some people are going to get it and some people aren't. All right. We're at a point where some of the people who interview rappers and do business with rappers don't even like rap. Don't even listen to rap. That's the crazy part about it. Like when we started covering Chicago content, not too many people was doing it. All these big platforms that you see doing it now, they wasn't doing it before. Their main aim was to get mainstream artists on their platform for views. But now they realize that Chicago's an open lane You know, where you could get some of these guys and talk about their controversy and have people come because they're going to, you know, it gets views. It generates views. They doing it for all the wrong reasons, man. And like I said, to each his own. If these individuals, they allowing it, these drill guys, they allowing it, it is what it is. Because in return, they get some type of exposure too. So I get it, right? But the underlining of it all, it always gets blurred out. The true intentions of them being, you know, interviewed and all that. It is what it is. But when it comes to the Chicago content, the only people I could kind of vouch for is SNTV, King AK-47. I'm probably missing someone, but those are the two that were covering it heavy when we started. I know King AK, he could be weird sometimes, but he has been at it for a minute, at least when we started. You know, dudes wasn't covering the drill scene like that. And then once they seen that it was a lane and it started generating views, now people paying for interviews from these guys and having them on a platform. They're being used. And like I said, a lot of them are getting exposure from it. So it's like a win-win situation, I guess, according to them. But when you see the true intention behind it with these big platforms, it's different. Because all they want is the controversy. And what that's doing is putting the artist in danger. Yes, you getting exposure, but now you stirring up some other type of controversy. You stirring up real street beef between you and real guys in the street that really want your head. These people that got to hear about their loved ones being killed all over again in 2023, that's what's going on. You know? And then you got these guys from UK that never stepped foot in a hood. Forget Chicago. Forget saying, oh, they never been to Chicago. They're not even from Chicago. They're not even from United States of America. You know, and they interviewing these guys asking crazy questions that they shouldn't even be asking. But for one, they don't know better. So to them, it's just out of curiosity. And two, these dudes don't let them know. They don't check them. You know, when Blazing Dawn was on Adam22, I felt she should have said, nah, I don't want to talk about my moms. I'm cool. Let's talk about my music. How you going to sit there and ask this girl about her mom, right? And keep bringing up the dude who's a suspect in the whole situation, right? And then interview that same dude a week later. Y'all playing around, man. It's just a little too much. Maybe it's just me at certain lines I won't cross. It just is what it is, man. But pretty much that's Rooga. You know, that's how he felt about Adam22. I warned y'all about Adam a long time ago, but it is what it is. I see it's like an influx of these platforms that's starting to come into this whole drill scene or whatever. It's getting saturated. It is what it is, man. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.